you can't cheat.
True.
You know,
There are no teleprompters.
there are
on
no
our show.
teleprompters.
So I don't know.
No placards?
No placards, no teleprompters.
Guys, we're talking about the show, not what happens in between the takes.
You know, I mean, that's what makes the show.
They did tell you that, right?
Yes, but you know, you never know what happens with editing. I don't even know if I'll make it in this interview.
So it's not one of those shows where case है आप कोर्ट में जाते हैं and you're fighting against it and there's only anger and screaming, because that's not how courtrooms are in real life. Life imprisonment is there, but I feel like when someone is accused of rape, I feel like they should be hung, and that should be something that we need to make a change.
It's quite evident when the actors are absolutely cheerful, especially when the first 2 seasons of their endeavor is a success. The third one is looking promising as well. Of course, we are talking about Illegal Season 3, and the glow is quite evident, Neil Bhoopalam and Neha Sharma, on your faces. Thank you so much, first of all, for joining us on Free Press Journal.
Thank you, Pratham. Thanks
you.
for having
It's
us.
a pleasure.
First 2 seasons, as I said in my intro, success. So second is gets overwhelming. Do you push yourself, or you say, I know my characters, I just perhaps need to push the envelope?
Neil is an entrant to season 3, so I think he came with the understanding that okay, chalo, 2 seasons have worked, I believe.
Correct.
So abhi third mein I'm gonna just, I don't know, what was your mindset?
Steal the show?
Maybe.
Yeah?
No, it's never stealing the show. Actually, it is trying to be like it's like a football team. So they have their football team and they've been playing their championships, and now they get one new football player.
Yeah.
And my responsibility is try and vibe with the team
Correct.
and add value to it.
But this team is so close to that final.
Yes,
And
yes,
you arrive at just in the nick of moment to score, are you not?
They've already won a few championships before that.
You know what it feels like? It
Yeah.
feels like when you go to a new, when you're part of a classroom already and there's a new student that comes in, you know,
Yeah.
you're so excited because there's a new person we can all be friends with, and something new, something more exciting, I feel, because we now, like the people who've been in season 1 and season 2 have become almost like a family. We know them too well.
Yeah.
It's just huge amount of comfort, but also familiarity. So I think Neil added the freshness quotient this season because he's the new entrant, the new kid on the block.
What does it do to you as an actor when you talk in terms of familiarity? To be able to be unfamiliar, therefore uncertain, and therefore challenging? What do you do?
I feel as an actor, it's all the same. Whether you work with someone, you worked with them through the years, or someone who you've never worked with, your job as an actor is still the same. What I mean when I say that is between the takes. You know, you get to know a person better because you are chatting, getting to know a person. So I think that just adds more fun, because I can't sit and ask Akshay, my other co-star, so Akshay, tell me more about you. I know most of the things about him. He has a wife, he has a kid. I mean, you know, that's what I'm saying. So that amount of excitement off screen, but on screen, I think it's still the same. You do with someone you know already and someone who's new.
And also, Akshay, Satyadeep, I know them from before. Zoya and Ira, along with me, are like the new students. And Neha I met for the first time when we had a reading. So the whole cast was there, and I realized her generosity as an individual, because lunch order had gone a bit haywire, or especially I didn't get the memo, so I didn't place an order in time, and you shared your lunch with
I
me.
remember that. Yeah.
So yeah, you're right.
Guys, we're talking about the show, not what happens in between the takes.
You know, dude, I mean, that's what makes the show.
So I think we became friends day one.
Yeah.
So what have you discovered about each other? Again, I'm getting in that zone.
Go for
in
it.
between about each other in that duration, in that zone, before the director says, okay.
The one thing that he probably understood is that I'm okay sharing my lunch.
Yeah. Yes. And just, I mean, once we started working, to see Neha sort of like, it's a very hard-working show, because your dialogues are tremendous. You gotta know it. You can't cheat.
True.
You know,
There are no teleprompters
there are
on
no
our show.
teleprompters.
So I don't
and-
know.
No placards?
No placards, no teleprompter. So you gotta
mean-
learn that script and come on set
Yeah.
because Sahir Raza is someone who's not gonna take. Oh, Sahir, can we get some prompting? Learn your dialogues and come on set. So he's
Yeah.
quite a taskmaster
Yeah.
like that.
He's sweet, but
He's a
he
sweetheart.
manages
He's
to get. No,
sweetheart.
you're right. He's matlab प्यार से ही है, but then he'll manage to like push you in that direction of getting it right.
Yeah, you can't arm twist him into getting anything done. No.
Right. Neha, how do you read your character? When I say this, because it is all grey. It is also complicated,
season.
highly,
This
and twisted
season,
as well.
yes,
I mean, the lines are blurred. What is moral? What is not
Yeah.
moral? What is right for her? And what is right in general and wrong as well. So, how do you read that character? How do you relate with that character as a person?
It was very difficult for
Uh-huh.
me because one, I don't relate to this Niharika at all.
At all.
Because earlier Niharika was pretty much like me.
Hmm.
So I thought she had a higher moral ground where, things were almost white and black, and she was always standing up for things she believed in, which is who I am in my real life. So I could totally relate to her. So it came quite easy to me, everything I could relate to and everything. And in this season, I'm like, Sahir, why this and why that? And you think someone could do this, really? And then he would be like, one, this is Niharika, and this is, you can't relate to her anymore, and this is her journey now. So you have to believe in what she's doing with conviction and do it right. And then I was like, okay, now it's not someone like me, now it's somebody totally different, but you still have to do it with conviction. So this season was not so easy for me because I was like mentally feeling, oh God, someone can do this, and why this? Because, somewhere I would feel empathy and I would not do this. And even Niharika, because I've seen her through and suddenly she's a different person. So it was quite alienating in the beginning. But I think, like I proudly keep saying now, I'm in my villain era. So I feel like I enjoyed the grays a lot this season. And I hope the audience likes the change and they enjoy the difference.
A performer, an actor especially, has to be selfish in terms of what you have to offer in an already successful show. So, Neil, did you have any sort of goal in your head? Did you put your foot down? This had to happen with my character to be able for you to come on board.
I wanted to know what the entire outcome of the case is for me to be able to come on board.
Yeah.
They did tell you that, right?
Yes, but you never know what happens with editing. I don't even know if I'll make it in this interview. But I just wanted to know exactly hua kya hai. And as the trailer suggests also, it is grey, wife beater, not wife beater, all of that. And once I got to know that I was also with Ira Dubey, especially to sort of make our scenes and play those scenes out, I was like, wow, that's fantastic, because we worked together. In fact, we worked together on a courtroom drama called A Few Good Men, the play, Aaron Sorkin's play. So, I mean, I don't know whether I've told you, courtroom drama is one of my favorite genres.
Wow.
Even growing up, I used to watch Ally McBeal
Yeah.
and Picket Fences.
Wow.
My aunt likes what's that, Law and Order,
Law and Order.
and very recently there was a film called The Anatomy of a Fall.
Yes, lovely film.
You know,
Okay. Having worked on this show, what is your reading of the judiciary system? To be very honest, what is your take on it? Do you think it is all good, or there are dark zones, there are grey zones which need to be worked upon? And the reason why I'm asking is because justice often get delayed and therefore denied. And as we speak this, there are certain cases where only essays are being written and you get away with that. So what is your reading of the situation, the profession in general?
I believe in our system, and I would like to believe in it. But yes, there are a few things where somewhere I feel like a few changes would help and would make people fear the outcome and hence not do a certain crimes. So I feel it's not that you can only create fear and get them to do what you believe in. But I feel there should be some laws stricter than what we have. Like life imprisonment is there, but I feel like when someone is accused of rape, I feel like they should be hung, and that should be something that we need to make a change.
Neil, your take?
Law is very fascinating to me, but it needs to constantly evolve. It needs to be a department and an area of expertise to benefit people and not only penalize people. There are many wrongdoings that are happening, and people are punished for that. But we're not trying to find out why does a person become like that. What is the upbringing? What are the circumstances? So that's when we can actually try and mitao behavior. Otherwise, you do give the harshest punishment, but then that's not really solving anything.
The problem, yeah. My last question, we have come miles away from the zone of Tariq pe Tariq and 2.5 kilo ka haath, and the judgment is served there and the
29th
witness
is the
are,
Tariq.
you know, brought and summoned right there and then, and dialogue bazi. This is not that drama. This is completely different. First 2 seasons have been fantastic, intriguing, intense. The third is looking impressive as well. I just want to ask you, because you mentioned all these series, the Western dramas that you were absolutely influenced by and you perhaps like as well. How do we then make our content desi and rooted and local without being too much of a replica of what has already been done in the West?
It's just a matter of sensibilities and sticking true to what are the systems in your own country. A courtroom drama doesn't also, like, every scene doesn't have to have a courtroom. Sometimes there's just like 2 players with a difference of opinion, like back in school when you'd have a debate, right? And that itself is enriching. So I think that's what we need to just figure out. We have done justice to the makers of Illegal Season 3, and the previous seasons as well have done a great job in not trying to make it seem like we borrowed a system from somewhere else.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I feel the people who watch the show, we were not trying to make a legal show which takes you to the courtroom and then out of the courtroom.
Yeah.
This is also a slice of life. We get into the lives of lawyers, which we usually don't see. So it's not one of those shows where case hai, aap court mein jaate hain and you're fighting against it and there's only anger and screaming, because that's not how courtrooms are in real life.
Yeah.
So I feel that has changed. Talking about earlier how courtrooms were shown in our movies, but now it's more realistic, I feel. Now it's more how an actual lawyer would take up a case in the court and talk about it. And in this show, we've also kept it more slice of life, because we also see their personal lives, how they are at the office, you know, how everything, their whole lifestyle, in fact. So I feel this is not one of those shows. It's very close to how a real life lawyer is. I think the writers put in that effort in hanging with the lawyers, so we got the lingo, how they talk.
Yeah.
And it became very, today. So
Absolutely.
I think that's something we'll have to give credit to the writers, that they've kept it very contemporary and very realistic.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Neha Sharma, Neil Bhoopalam, thank you so much.
Thank
The
you.
glow, I hope it continues.
Yes.
And the
I
new
hope
player
so
is
too.
all set to score.
Yes,
Thank you.
yes.
Thank you. Nice to chat with you.
Thanks,
you.
Pratham. Thanks very much.